Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Little Green Lamb, and today I have a book review on 28 Summers by Elin Hilderbrand, which is her newest summer release for summer of 2020. So you might have heard me talk about this book a bit, so I'm going to give my little spiel, a synopsis of what happened, and then I'm going to go through my rating system, which you'd be familiar with if you've seen my other reviews. This review will be spoiler free, so if you have not read this book, do not fret. You can always watch the review. If you have read this book and want to talk about it with me, remember in the comments to put spoiler in caps and space down a few lines, just so that other people that haven't read the book that want to talk about something else or ask me questions do not get spoiled for the end of the book. Yeah, so let's just be respectful for the community. But this book was really good. I've read some really great books lately. I don't know what's been happening, but I've been blessed by the book gods because, woo, real good. This book is her Elin Hilderbrand's 25th book. I've read about 21. I think I've read 21 of her books. This is by far one of my new favorites. I think this is one of her best ones yet. I feel like it just had like the fast pace, but not too fast where you're like, I can't catch up. It had the suspense. It had a bit of mystery. It had heartwarming moments. It had good character growth. It just had everything I love personally in a book. So I was very impressed with it. So this book is basically about a girl named Mallory, and you follow her life from the summer of 1993 all the way to present day and what's happened. And in 1993 she was in her young 20s. I think she was 21. I forget right now. But she's in her young 20s regardless, and you follow what happens to her, and basically you find out like her first summer on Nantucket, how she got to Nantucket, why she was on Nantucket, everything about that. Throughout it all, you actually get to see into other characters' lives. So sometimes you won't see necessarily into Mallory's life, but you get like into Jake's life or sometimes Ursula. And this book was actually inspired by the film Same Time Next Year, which Mallory and Jake in the novel watch every summer. And I've never seen that film, but if you've seen that film, then you might have an idea of how this book kind of runs, for the most part, at least structurally. So anyway, plot, I give a 5 out of 5. I absolutely adored this book. I thought it was really good. It's very hard for me to rate Elin Hilderbrand books low, but I have to say, out of all the books I've read, this is one of my favorites, truly. So if you weren't sure, maybe you read last summer's and you're like, I don't know, I definitely recommend picking this one up. I know a lot of people that are kind of like me that I see like on BookTube or Instagram or Bookstagram, who pick up her books every summer, and this is definitely one that I wouldn't sit on for long. I was very sad when this didn't show up on, like, I pre-ordered it. I was like, please show up this week. And I was like waiting by the door. I was like, I need this book to come out soon. Characters, I give a 5 out of 5. I think Elin Hilderbrand makes really great characters. They're three-dimensional. You really get to know inside what their thoughts are. They're very well-formed characters. Like, they're not characters where you think you're like, could they have been better formed? They're always formed spectacularly. I just love these characters so much. I was so sad to finish this book. I was just like forlorn. I was like, oh. I was like, I'm sad, Mom. And I was like, these characters, I love them so much. But besides that, like, I really want to see a spin-off. There's a character, so it says on the back of this, so this is not a spoiler. It says on the back, like, her son Link. And I just really want there to be a spin-off of him. I really want to hear what's going on in his life, because you find out something about his life later on. And I'm like, can we get a spin-off? Can we get a novella? Can we get a Christmas story? Can we get something, Elin Hilderbrand, please? Because she does use characters that like intercept. So there's certain, like the cop Ed Capanash, like he's in quite a few of the books. Like there are characters you hear about Bartlett's Farm. There's the same places you hear about, and there's some characters that come in different books. I'd really love to see if somebody knows, if somebody has already made this, a concept map of all Elin Hilderbrand's characters and which books they're all in, like how they connect on a big mind map. That'd be phenomenal, but I think I'm asking for too much. Anyway, the next is cover. So for this cover, I don't know. I give it probably a 3.5 out of 5. I just feel like her covers, like, she talked about the house so much. It would have been nice to see, like, a nice beach house or something. Like, I feel like her covers, like, are kind of, I know, like, also authors don't always, I don't know if they always get say over the covers, or they just get some options they get to pick. I'm not super sure how, but I just feel like her covers always have almost a disconnect to her books. I feel like they connect in the sense where it's generic, but I would love to see some specific stuff, like even seeing some beach glass. What is it called? Sea glass. Just something that had a little bit more reminiscence, like even a VHS player with the tape of not 28 Summers, same time next year. I just feel like it could connect more. It is a pretty cover. I'm not denying that. I just wish it connected more, but I love how summery it looks too, because I just love the summer vibes. Suspense, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Same as overall, and I'm going to lump them together because I'm going to talk about them together. This book had so much suspense in the fact that you didn't know how Mallory got to the predicament from the first page to the last. If you watch my review on The Gilded Cage, it was kind of the same thing where you know what happens at the end, but how do we get there? And I kind of like those books when they're really executed well, which this one definitely was. And I was like, I'm definitely going to reread this, I think, next summer. I honestly really want to buy like one of the, I think, of 3 Elin Hilderbrand books I haven't read. I really want to buy another one. I just feel like Elin Hilderbrand mood, so I might do that by the end of the month. Maybe as a birthday present to myself, buy another one of her books that I haven't read. In case you're wondering, I haven't read those last 3 because I'm kind of savoring them for a summer when I feel like too. And this is one of those summers where I feel like more and more, I kind of want to reread some more of her books. I reread, gosh, what's it called? This is going to haunt me. Nantucket Nights, I believe. I can't even see it from this point because they used to be stacked so I could have looked. But yeah, that has been my book review on 28 Summers by Elin